Nemesis. That guy is an absolute psycho. In fact, he's a bit of a douchebag, and I'm referring to the comic book character of Nemesis in this recent trade paperback titled Nemesis Reloaded, written by Mark Millar and with the beautiful and stunning artwork by Jorge Jimenez. And speaking of douchebags, I'm Comic Casper, self-burn right there. Welcome guys, welcome my fellow comic book friends to Comic Casper, and this is a spoiler-free review of the Nemesis Reloaded trade paperback, as spoiler-free as I can get it. So let's kick it. To give you a bit of a premises, so Nemesis is like the anti-Batman. He is wealthy, he's intelligent, he's well-trained, he is devious, and he's a bit of a psychopath. And this particular story, which is composed of 5 issues and published by Image Comics, focuses on an origin story of Nemesis, as well as a revenge tale and a segue into something greater. From the very beginning, the artwork just blows me out of the water. Jorge Jimenez is a fantastic artist. I would say he's a well-rounded one. He gets a lot of things right. He has the action sequences, those dynamic movements, that momentum, the great facial expressions. He has great character designs, a stunning color palette. He just seems to get it. He just seems to get everything right, and that's what makes this so entertaining from the beginning to the end. And you can't disregard Mark Millar in here as well. You know, he does a great job at writing the character and really the whole supporting cast of the characters, but unfortunately, the star of the show is Nemesis. And I'm saying unfortunately because I absolutely hate this guy. I wanted to see his butt get kicked big time throughout the series. I was just hoping the whole time, can somebody just kick this guy's ass, because he's an absolute menace in society. It makes it very difficult to empathize and to root for somebody that's a little bit vile. And yeah, we do get a background story that, you know, makes you feel maybe a little bit sorry about Nemesis, or maybe just slightly empathize with who he has become. But really, I mean, come on, there is just no excuse for who he has become at the end of the day, because let's be honest, all it takes is a bit of resilience to take the righteous path, and unfortunately, our buddy Nemesis here does not do that. As well as this background story, I did mention that there's a great segue. You know, there's an awesome kind of direction that the story takes near the end, and a great build-up actually at the very beginning. I think just this whole story is well-rounded, and it leaves you wanting more, and I think that's what's been done really well here by Mark Millar. 5 issues just seems like it's just not enough. I really wanted more. What's interesting about this is that I really felt sorry for some of the victims, or some of the people that get caught in the crossfire of this bad guy. You know, in particular, there was this one female character there, and I just felt a little bit dirty reading this. Really sorry for these minor characters that don't really play a big part, but you feel for the people that end up being collateral damage in here, especially those that appear innocent for the most part. Yeah, there's a lot of bad cookies in here that do get their just desserts from Nemesis, but there's also people that you feel like you wish you could avenge. The pacing in this is exceptional. You're moving at a breakneck pace the whole time. From the beginning, I never found that there was any dull moments. I didn't get bored at all. And in fact, there was even some parts that I just kind of overlooked or I missed, so, you know, you really got to pay attention from the very beginning. And Mark Millar does a really lovely thing with just kind of closing the loop in here. Make sure you pay attention, because you do get distracted by the incredible entertainment that's jam-packed in here. Now, before you read this though, I would recommend reading Wanted, because where this sort of wraps up has a nice link to this. Read Wanted, you would have a greater appreciation for this, and then I believe all of this ties into The Big Game. I think maybe you could look at this as kind of like a trilogy. Wanted being part 1, Nemesis Reloaded part 2, and I think The Big Game, which is a continuation of that. And I'm sure there's a lot of other works that tie into The Big Game. Now, who is Nemesis Reloaded for? Well, I guess if you want a story about a villain, you want something different, you are still interested in the superhero genre, but you want something that's really outside of the box and that's not afraid to get quite explicit, then this is probably the story for you. I find Image Comics, you know, they can really tell a story about whatever they want, and they are not concerned about any representation repercussions or anything that happens to key characters, which is fantastic. Unlike Marvel and DC, whereby they keep bringing back their characters over and over again, or they can't kill off their characters because they're just so key to the franchise. When it comes to Image Comics, well, really, they can do whatever they want, and that's the beauty about it. You know, characters die and they stay dead, and life moves on without them. This comic book is not for the squeamish. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and it's a bit of glorious guilty pleasure at the end of the day. I enjoyed it, and I had a bit of a love and hate relationship with it, and despite me really despising this guy, I could not take my eyes off the pages, and that's because of Jorge Jimenez, who's really driving, who's orchestrating that visual experience throughout the whole story. I'm looking forward now, and I'm a lot more excited to be diving into the big game. I will probably do a little bit more reading around it, like Kick-Ass, just so I'm a little bit more prepared for the Miller world, and who knows, maybe I'll read some of the other stuff as well, because knowing the kind of quality of storytelling that I got in here, I will be very tempted to read into the Miller world a little bit more. Anyway, guys, that's it from me regarding the Nemesis Reloaded trade paperback. It's awesome. Check it out. But then again, maybe it's not for everyone at the same time. Can be a little bit bleak and dark, and that seems to be the common theme here in the Miller world stories at the moment. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy it, hit it with a like, and if you hated it, hit it with a dislike, and I'll hit you up with some more comic book content soon, and let me know what you guys thought of Nemesis if you have read it in the comments below. In fact, let's talk all things comics down there. I'll catch you there. Take care.